Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. You found TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. In just a few minutes, we'll be right with you with another award-winning, action-packed edition of your Tony Basilio Show. You found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio Show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word.
WJBE 1040 AM, 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
Man, do we have a lot to talk about today. Wow. Woo, wow. It is a football Friday, fired up, focused, and prepared to be here with you. Pretty jacked up, stacked and packed and jacked. Brian Hartman, good day to you. Hope all's well.
Good morning, Tony and Bino.
Bean Joe,
hope your
Jeff
back
Henderson.
Is feeling much better.
Oh, God, man, don't even. Whew. I'm going on about 2 hours sleep here, so it ain't going to be pretty. But what do you know? How fired up, focused, and prepared, Beanstar, are you right now? Is Bino Jeff there?
Well, I am, Tony. Sorry. I keep trying to get fired up, focused, and prepared for the college football season and keep getting these kicks in the junk. I wish we'd just get the kickoff and do it with whatever our roster is going to be at the time of kickoff.
It's really exhausting. I wrote in the blog today that this week has been exhausting, and people are like, well, you know, you shouldn't have been talking about it on Monday. I'm like, well, what happens if he wouldn't have shown up, if he didn't show up Sunday into Monday? And, I mean, you're better off knowing about it than not knowing about it, because it is a thing. It's interesting, though, because the most 2025 thing happened with this quarterback swap that Tennessee did with UCLA. And an excerpt from The Athletic reads as following: because Joey Aguilar has been disrespected at every turn, but boy, they've really done a hit piece on him out in California. It goes like this: UCLA desperately needed a quarterback coming out of 2024 after they were 126 in scoring and number 95 in the country in yards per play. They scored more than 20 points in only 2 games. So UCLA brings in Appalachian State transfer Joey Aguilar last winter and hopes that he'd spark the offense. Halfway through the spring, this is the writing by Bruce Feldman. Halfway through the spring, Foster wasn't sold on his quarterback's connection to the receivers and his film study habits. He would later transfer to Tennessee after Nico joined the Bruins. Now, Bino, Bruce Feldman didn't get that from me, and he didn't get that from you. Where do you think he got that, Bino?
He got that from UCLA or Big Nick or someone like that.
That's a disgrace. What they did to this kid, having him transfer out there and then throwing him overboard within like 2 months or 3 months. I mean, I don't even know how long that is. 15-week semester. So, I mean, that is an utter disgrace, is what that is. And then they do this to him on the way out. They do this thing where, he didn't study film, because they have to make up a reason for why they did what they did, because truly what they did is wrong. What they did to that kid is wrong. I mean, let's just call it what it is. What they did to him is wrong. But you have to have a reason for doing it. So I don't know. How's that smack at you, Beanstar, when you read that? Doesn't that kind of suck to treat a kid like that?
Yeah, I think it stinks of justification of doing something that you shouldn't have done, Tony. At least that's what I hope it is.
Well, that has to be what it is. I mean, because so you're going to get a more highly ranked. Nico from the outside looks like a really tantalizing player till you watch him play. There's a lot of guys like that. They look like, man, that'd be great to have him. And then sometimes in baseball, right, when your team trades for one of those guys or they sign as a free agent, you're like, man, I can't wait for this guy to get out of this uniform. He's getting on my nerves. And Nico I think he's kind of in that mold, personally. He looks a lot better than he is. He looks a lot more dynamic than he is. But for them to soil Joey football on the way out the door like that is really unnecessary. It's kind of sad, really. I mean, it's kind of a sad thing they've done here. But we'll bring Mike Hugenan on here in a second. The other thing that's going on is the Big Ten is really feeling themselves this week at their media meetings, taking shots at the SEC at every turn and continuing this thing about how this league only plays 8 league games and all those themes. I mean, this season is going to be really wild. It really is. And this year here is going to be really interesting. And then the third thing that we'll have on our plate today is this Boo Carter deal. I was talking to somebody today who said, at the end of the day, why would Tennessee wait till that team meeting on Monday? Why wouldn't they call that kid and today have him say, get Kitzelman in there, get another two or three team leaders in there, and have this kid sit down with his teammates and tell him, if you don't do it by the close of business today, we're not doing business with you. Why are they letting this kid control the narrative here? I think that's a reasonable thing to say out loud. Do you guys?
Yes, Tony. I think that's a reasonable thing, unless they are just wanting to make sure that they have a little cooling off period here that might help if the transition back in onto the roster is a possibility. I don't know. I'm just trying to throw something from the other side.
Yeah, and as I say, rejoin the team, because when you're away like he's been away, you're not a part of the team right now. So now it's going to be a question of, does he want to come back And if he, in fact, wants to come back, do they want him back? And I don't know that that's a slam dunk, Bino, that everybody involved wants him back. You know, his position coaches, Banks, those guys, I don't know if that's a slam dunk.
No, I would say there's a lot larger percentage of the fan base that wants him back than of the roster.
Which makes sense. Because I don't think most people realize the discipline that it takes to do what those guys do. And the level of commitment that those guys have to what they're doing. But we've got a lot to talk about today. The great Mike Hugenan is going to join us on the other side when we roll back on your Football Friday. And we continue with more right after this.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
Your Smokies are back home this week and so many great promotions every single night. Like all-you-can-eat Wednesday and Thirsty Thursday with half-off draft beers. Huge special guest on Friday. You guessed it, Santa and Mrs. Claus. It's Christmas in July. And on Saturday, it's wrestling night with live matches after the game. Fireworks both nights. Sunday, make sure to get the little ones out early with Peppa Pig.
I'm Peppa Pig.
Grab your tickets now at SmokiesBaseball.com. Knoxville Smokies.
Summer is officially here, and the last thing you want during sweltering heat is a broken air conditioner or HVAC system. That means it's more important than ever to keep you and your family comfortable and safe when extreme Tennessee temperatures arrive. Don't ignore the warning signs that your AC is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need emergency HVAC repairs, routine preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. This month, get up to a $1,000 discount when you buy and install a new air conditioner or HVAC system. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards, so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Are you stuck in a dead-end job or ready for a new challenge? Do you feel like it's time to try a new career? Well, it's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. My friends at TLD Logistics have some really exciting opportunities for you to learn a new skill. With a new 5-acre driving academy that's now under new leadership with all new course material. And the best part, it's absolutely free. What a great deal to set you on the road to higher pay. And TLD Logistics even offers weekly stipends to offset food and gas expenses. In 6 weeks' time, you could complete this course and be in compliance with FMCSA regulations. Then you're ready for the open road of opportunity. What are you waiting for? It's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. Visit tldlogistics.com. That's tldlogistics.com. TLD Logistics.
a lime is not always just a lime. You see, some limes are lucky. For when a lime joins the salted rim of a crisp, refreshing Tres Dos Equis, that lime is no longer a mere lime, but a wedge of renowned Mexican limón. Muchas gracias, limón. And also, de nada. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. It's a Football Friday, ladies and gentlemen. That can only mean one thing. The great Mike Hugenan now joins as we welcome you back. And, Hugie, let's start here. The Big Ten had their media meetings this week, and, of course, we in this market wanted to see how they spun the Nico thing, and because it was very strange. And Hugie, check this out. So this is in Bruce Feldman's piece. I just read this a second ago, but Bruce Feldman, writing in The Athletic, wrote the following. Coming out of 2024, a year where they ranked 126 in scoring and 95 in yards per play, UCLA scored more than 20 points only 2 times. And then they talk about how they brought in Joey Aguilar. Then Feldman goes on to say, Foster wasn't sold on his quarterback's connection to the receivers, nor his film study habits. Now, Hugie, isn't it enough to bring a kid in, kind of mess around with his life, his final year in college football, make him go through a spring practice, throw him off the side of the vessel? Do they have to diss him like that, Hugie?
Yeah, that was interesting. I used to work at The Athletic. I like Bruce Feldman. He is a big-time reporter gatherer. He gets a ton of information, and that did sort of stand out as, come on, UCLA, did you really need to spread that around? But that was an interesting story. I think that Nico, supposedly he and his dad were upset with the surrounding talent at Tennessee, but as has been discussed ad nauseum in a way, that the surrounding talent at UCLA is vastly worse. So, in that story, Nico made a big deal about, at least I'm at home, close to my family. My family can come to 6 games a year. They don't have to travel. and the away games is going to be obviously a big travel thing, but at least the home games are. I think it's at 30 miles from where he went to high school. But yeah, UCLA, they bring in a bunch of other transfer portal guys on both sides of the ball. I don't think that UCLA is going to have a good season. So, they also have a new offensive coordinator. They open with Utah, which is an extremely physical team. I just don't think that Nico's going to have a very good season.
What when you look at that UCLA bunch, because obviously these two teams are connected at the hip, whether we like it or not. People are probably saying, well, Tony, why are you talking about Nico? I'm talking about Nico because we're connected at the hip with him. Basically, these two teams, it's unprecedented. They changed quarterbacks after spring football. And one by his own volition, and another one who just got, not only did he get thrown overboard by UCLA, then they gathered at his eulogy and ripped him. I mean, what? And here's the thing Hugenan just shared with the living listener, and I want to underscore this. Bruce Feldman's not making that up. That's what they spun to him. I think that's really shameful, Hugie. I just find that it's kind of disgusting what they did to the kid to begin with. But that might be even worse. Kicking the kid on his way out the door like that?
Yeah, maybe it's a case of Feldman and others obviously have asked, well, you brought Aguilar in to be your starter. What's going on here? Well, he didn't work well with the receivers. Maybe you should have watched more film, all that kind of stuff. So it's almost like, and UCLA, if they can get Nico, he's a better quarterback, they think, than most people think, than Aguilar. So just say that. We saw an opportunity to upgrade or whatever. You don't need to trash the kid on the way out. But, again, they brought in 3 projected starting offensive linemen. They're coming from Kentucky, Florida State, and Oklahoma. One thing about those 3 teams last year, their offensive lines reeked. And I can't use a stronger word on the radio because you guys will get fined. So the idea that, we're bringing in a guy from Florida State who did not play on an offensive line that allowed 49 sacks. We're bringing in a guy from Oklahoma who was on a horrible offensive line, and Kentucky's offensive line was garbage last year as well. So those are your three new starters on the offensive line are guys that came from schools that couldn't block anybody. So I think Nico's legs are going to be a big deal. Though I think if you talk to some people, he does not do well in the face of pressure. So it's and the receiving core is really not that good. The running backs I think have potential, but you can be the greatest running back in the world, but if your offensive line is garbage, you ain't running anywhere. So I think the UCLA roster management aspect, they tried to get better, but I'm not sure they have.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point. And then the other thing is, like you look at that UCLA bunch, because the theme out of the Big Ten media meetings this week was, from every coach, we're not the SEC. We play 9 games. Well, I mean,
Right.
okay, but you play 9 games against each other, and the leagues aren't even comparable, Hugie. I mean,
I don't think so top to bottom, no. I
No.
think at the top, yes, they are. The bottom, no, they're not. Indiana doesn't play a Power 4 non-conference opponent. I love Kurt Cignetti because he brooks no nonsense, but he's calling his schedule the SEC model. Well, no offense there, Kurt, but I think every SEC team but 2 plays at least one Power 4 non-conference opponent, and some play 2. Like Georgia and Florida both play 2 off the top of my head. So it's the schedule that Nico and UCLA will face is easier, but I mentioned that they open with Utah. The second game is at UNLV. Now, UNLV is coming off a double-digit win season. They won the Mountain West last year, or they didn't win the Mountain West. They lost in the Mountain West title game. So the first 2 games for Nico and UCLA are going to be difficult, and I think there's a world in which they lose both of those. So the offensive line, it certainly needs to gel quickly for them. Defensively, I think they'll be fair, except the back end. One of their key starters in the secondary is a guy well acquainted with Tennessee, Key Lawrence. So I don't know how their defense is going to be either. But again, their offense, I just don't think it's going to be very good because the surrounding talent is not very good.
The great Mike Hugenan joining on a Football Friday. Brian Hartman, jump in here with Hugie.
Yeah, James Franklin wants the SEC to play 9 games and everyone to play 9 games. But would it be more equitable to play 10 games or stay at 8 just due to the fact that each team would have the same number of home and road games?
No, I think most SEC fans do want their teams to play 9 games, 9 conference games. And the irony about Penn State, their non-conference schedule, Nevada, FIU, and Villanova. So basically, they don't play they could put it together an all-star team from those 3 schools that play a non-conference and still win by 3 touchdowns. But I do agree with Franklin in that SEC teams need to play 9 conference games. I don't care that there's an unequal number of home and away. I want 9 conference games. I don't want the annual FCS weekend. And as it is, I mentioned earlier, there's some SEC teams playing 2 Power 4 opponents, non-conference, which is admirable. And if they went to 9 conference games, there would probably be just a lot of the schools I don't think would play any in that case. But I still would rather see Georgia go to Texas A&M for the first time than see Georgia playing Middle Tennessee. The SEC has to go to 9 conference games, and so does the ACC.
The great Mike Hugenan joining, breaking it down scientifically, moving right to left across your device. Jeff Henderson, jump in here, my brother.
Hey, Mike, I'm really intrigued by some of the coaching storylines in college football this year. And being a former PE major, I'm going to give you one of my favorites, which is a multiple choice question. And I'm going to let you give me 2 answers out of the 4 possibles because one of them may be so much more obvious than the other. Which of these is more surprising to you? That Scott Frost is back at UCF, that Marcus Freeman has been so good so far at Notre Dame, that Deion Sanders is still at Colorado after Shedeur is gone, or that Bill Belichick is the head football coach at North Carolina?
Well, the Belichick is still mind-blowing to me. The other one, I guess I'll say, I don't know, Deion in a way, but I don't understand why UCF felt the need to rehire Scott Frost. Just like I don't understand the need of West Virginia to rehire Rich Rodriguez. To me, you are blatantly saying we can only go to guys who've already been here and had success because they don't think anybody else can do it. That to me is a self-defeating prophecy. And Scott Frost, not only was he really, really bad at Nebraska, there's been a lot of talk about stuff he did at Nebraska. Well, it's like I used to work with an old-time writer who used a ton of cliches in his writing. And he said, yeah, well, everybody knows what I'm talking about because cliches are good. And in this context, the talk about Frost is there for a reason. A lot of that stuff happened. So I don't, Belichick is beyond staggering, but to me the second biggest was Scott Frost. I don't understand why UCL felt the need to go back to that guy in the manner in which they did. I just don't understand it at all.
The great Mike Hugenan taking a few for us. Hey, Hugie, we're talking about all this conference stuff, and you mentioned the ACC a second ago. Here we are. North Carolina wants to join the SEC according to On3, and Clemson wants to go with them. What do we eventually have these 2 20-team leagues? Do we have 3 20-team leagues, and that's how this is going to work? Because it looks like the SEC, you can see this coming. They're going to go to 20 teams, or at least 18.
Yeah, and North Carolina, we talked about this on your show probably 12 months ago. North Carolina is the school in the ACC that the Big Ten and SEC want. Forget the football aspect of it, whatever. North Carolina runs that state. Yes, I know there's 4 Power 4 schools there. There's also East Carolina, App State, schools that have been really good at times in football. No one in that state grows up, I want to go to NC State. No, everybody grows up, you want to be a Tar Heel. It's a preeminent public institution nationally. It brings a new TV market. Clemson, I'm surprised they wouldn't go for Virginia, truthfully, just because you could own the entire eastern coast from Virginia south all the way to Miami. So, because there are a lot of Florida fans in Miami. North Carolina to me is a no-brainer. I think at some point, we're going to get to the super conference. The only question there is, okay, the NFL has 32. We know college football will have more than 32. Will it be 40? Will it be 48? Will it be 56? Will it be 60? That's the only question. And the other question is, how soon does this get here? I don't think it's within the next decade, but that's the way we're moving toward. And, the Middle Tennessee states of the world, the Tulsas of the world, the New Mexicos of the world. Basketball is different. Football, it's going to be a consolidation of power, so to speak. And you and I have talked also on your show about just because I'm of the opinion that just because you're in the SEC and Big Ten now doesn't mean you will be in the super conference down the road. Because, we talked, does Vanderbilt have any value to the SEC?
It's so true.
Does Rutgers have any value to the Big Ten? And, the New York TV market. Nobody's tuning in New York to watch Rutgers. Nobody might tune in to watch Ohio State. So, but North Carolina is a no-brainer. And if the SEC can get North Carolina, that's a gigantic coup.
Hey, Bino, if the SEC grabs North Carolina and Clemson, okay, who are the next 2 teams you target, Beanstar? What do you do if you're the league? Or do you stay at 18?
Tony, that I'm an advocate of going to 20 and just basically almost having 2 different conferences. Give me the old Southeastern Conference back. We'll play those 9 schools and then play whoever wins the other side in the SEC championship game. That's what I would like to see happen. But if it were me, the obvious one out there for me is West Virginia that I would like to. I just think that they're more like SEC fans than any other candidates out there, ACC teams included.
What do you think, Hughie? I think Bino's got a good point.
And then they fit the. I once had somebody tell me in academics, they fit the SEC because it's a poor state that's not very well educated. So that does sort of fit. But I still think Virginia has some cachet. Again, another really good institution. And again, the TV aspect, you presumably would, you count the DC market. Virginia Tech's another one that might be out there. If you're a Florida State fan, I think you're hoping to get into the Big Ten. If you're a Miami fan, the same. I don't think Florida State or Miami will ever be in the SEC. West Virginia is interesting. I think Virginia's interesting. But if you go further west, I'm not sure any school in Texas. I'm not sure Oklahoma State would fit. And again, I think West Virginia fits from a geographic sense as well. Though I think, if you're, oh my God, back-to-back road trips to Starkville and Morgantown. Oh my God.
I'm going to tell you something, guys. The longer this thing goes, the third league that's going to survive is that Big 12.
Big 12, yeah.
I'm betting on them. You got that Texas oil money all in their league right now, and the other thing they have is they obviously are not cash poor. When you read the reports about how Memphis tried to buy their way into that league, And that league basically said, no, thank you.
Yeah,
no thanks.
That shocked me in a way, because you got Memphis saying we're bringing $200 million worth of, let's use the word endorsements, and for 5 years we're not going to take any of this. So you can spread the $200 million around with the teams you already have. So you add an extra $5 million to their annual TV deal, and we'll just be here and we'll help you in basketball a lot, and we could become a pretty good football school if we were in a power league. And yeah, the Big 12 said, I don't think so. You also wonder what's going to happen to SMU. SMU is another school that has a ton of money. And that is always helpful. Maybe the SMU ends up going back to the Big 12 there. You know, they used to be in the Big 8. I'm sorry, they used to be in the Southwest Conference, and maybe that's, they get back together with Baylor and TCU and Texas Tech in the new Big 12. And if West Virginia were to come into the SEC, you could take SMU and replace them. But yeah, there's still a lot of machinations going on, still a lot of chess moves to be played. But again, if the overriding thing here is North Carolina wants in the SEC, you bend over backward to make sure they get in.
The great Mike Hugenan breaking it down scientifically. In our pre-production meeting today, Brian Hartman told me he wanted to ask a question about the playoffs. Before we get to him, I'm gonna throw this at you. Petiti said, why don't we think like the NFL model now that we have the NFL model toward that end? And this guy, you talk about a clown. Okay, he says, this is your Big Ten commissioner, by the way, that has like 18 teams in it. He said only league games should count toward making the playoffs. In other words, I want the SEC fan to listen to this now. We play in a league with 3 great teams, and the fall off is like falling off a cliff. Okay, and then the middle of the league to the bottom of the league is dreadful. I mean, it's utterly unwatchable. And Hugie's a degenerate, and he will admit to you that it's completely unwatchable. Hugie, how about that guy saying that in public?
Yeah, he said that 6-3 is a good conference record, and
you should be playoff
maybe
eligible.
If you lose a non-conference game, you're 8-4. Well, 8-4 teams, you can be a playoff team at 8-4. Well, yeah, if there's a 32-team field, and maybe he wants it like the FCS, which has 24 teams. And you got teams that went 6-5 and 7-5 in there. So I don't understand Petiti. I think this is, we talked about the Athletic before. There was an interesting column by Stuart Mandel who called them the Gaslight Conference.
Yep.
And he's right. They are sort of gaslighting everybody. And this is, I think, the one, Sankey is not a well-liked conference commissioner by anybody outside the SEC and even some inside the SEC borders. But Petiti, I think now, Sankey was sort of if you're a fan of anybody that's outside the Power 2 conferences, Sankey's the devil. Well, now I think you take a step back and go, no, this Petiti guy is an idiot. And he made it plain that one thing he wants is that play-in weekend. And I'm thinking, okay, so I finished third in the Big Ten in the regular season, and you're telling me I have to play again to get into the playoffs? That makes no sense at all. So I think this is one case where a lot of people are going to look at Petiti and go, that 4-4-2-2-1 thing, no, we don't want that. We want the 5-11. And Petiti he was saying, well, nobody wants the 5-11. Well, I think actually more people want the 5-11. And we talked a little bit 2 weeks ago, there's a definite schism here between the Big Ten and SEC. I think there's been stuff behind closed doors that they didn't necessarily agree on, but this is blatant and in public. So this is, people probably are like, oh my God, I'm sick of hearing about this. But take a half step back and think about this. You got Power Guy A and Power Guy B. One guy is about 100 miles apart from the other guy. So can they meet in the middle? This is going to be very interesting to see. And again, the fact that they are so publicly at odds is what makes this interesting, newsworthy, and, to me, frankly, intriguing.
Hey, Bino, before we jump Bry back in here, question for you, okay? when this playoff expands to 16, are the SEC and the Big Ten going to do those qualifiers they're talking about at the end of the year? What do you think?
Sure, Tony. If they figure out they can make them a lot more money than just a regular championship game, no question about it.
I think people. Hey, Hughie, here's the sad thing. I think people would watch the absolute fire out of those games because those are win and get in games.
Yeah, but as someone who thinks a regular season loss in September should matter, I think they're going to do it. Like Bino said, if there's, I don't even think there needs to be millions. If they're making, hey, we can make 25 cents more, we're doing it. So, and the TV partners, I'm sure, would love it because it gives them, you can play games on Friday and Saturday. So you're going to be all over the TV set. But again, if it's, and I'll be honest, if it's the 4-4-2-2-1 model, if I finish third in the league in the regular season and lose the play-in game, my playoff hopes are gone. So I think coaches need to be careful here that, we played 12 games, we're 10-2, and we're not making the playoff because my commissioner is more worried about making more money. That would irritate me because I guess the 1 and 2 teams are going to get in regardless. The 3 loses to the 6. I don't think the 3 is getting in. But I think the idea that you could play an extra game for 4 of your teams, well, actually 6 of your teams, it appeals to the commissioners because more money is there to be made, no question. But I think also it's going to end up cost. No, if it goes to 16 and it's 5-11, maybe it doesn't hurt. But I still think if it's the 4-4-2-2-1 model, if you're the third place team and you lose, you're toast.
You got to bow your head when you say his name, the great Mike Hugenan, joining on your TLD Logistics hotline, online at tldlogistics.com. Hey, Bri, jump in here.
Yeah, I wanted to make a point, though, before I ask the question. If the Big Ten and SEC start to agree on this, doesn't that open the door for a super conference that starts with those 2 leagues?
Oh, yeah, I think everybody knows that's happening anyway. Yeah. I mean, the teams, if you're in the ACC, Miami and Florida State are fine. Wake Forest and Duke, see you later. I'm not sure Maryland football would make the big time. What would happen to Georgia Tech? What would happen to Cal and Stanford? What's going to happen with SMU? Boston College ain't making it. So, and the Big 12, the Iowa States and Kansas States of the world. Kansas football, that's going to be an interesting aspect. But I think that if you're in the Big Ten and SEC, for the most part, I think maybe Vanderbilt, maybe in Mississippi State, and we're 90% fine. But most of the schools in those leagues are 100% fine. But I don't think that if the SEC and Big Ten agree on this, it speeds up the process. I think the process it's on a track outside of town, about 5 miles outside of downtown, and that train's already rolling. The question is it going to the next town, and that's when it happens, or is it going cross country that takes 10 years, and that's when the Super Conference comes around? The Super Conference is coming. I just don't know, again, like I said earlier, and I think you guys would agree, the question is when this all happens, and it's not going to happen until they've wrung every single dollar they can out of the current system.
Who are your 12 playoff teams right now?
Oh, man.
Who would you put in there?
Hey, Hughie, work on that between now and next week, would you?
Okay.
Let's all do that. We'll have a playoff summit next week.
Okay, and we're less than a month till the season starts because the season
it's crazy.
Starts August 23rd.
Wow.
With a good game, Iowa State, Kansas State in Ireland.
And then I saw today,
light drinkers from Iowa State will have to learn how to drink Guinness.
I saw today where there's going to be a game played in Germany coming up. Brian, who's that with? Who's in the Germany game?
That's
Brian?
Michigan and Western Michigan.
Oh my God!
Hughie. They couldn't even get a good team. They're taking Western Michigan over there for a kicking scrimmage.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
The Vols will play in Europe within 5 years.
If I'm a college football player and get to go to Germany, that's a cool trip. It's a cool trip.
Oh, hey, no question.
Too bad you can't. I'm sure they'll be on training table, which means you can't enjoy all that German beer. But maybe you sneak out at night and get some.
Hey, Hughie, on the way out, is there anything you want to touch on that we haven't? Because we've gone from soup to nuts here today.
No, just the fact that we're less than a month away. We got the pro football. The Hall of Fame game is within a week. And all the NFL teams are in camp. College teams will be getting into camp within the next week. The first game is August 23rd, and it's a hugely important game in the Big 12. Kansas State, Iowa State. I mean, Kansas State's considered, if they're not the favorite, maybe the number 2 team. Iowa State's 4th or 5th in there. They got a ton of guys coming back. I don't understand why you play a game of that importance overseas, but whatever. So we're less than a month away until real college football, and that's a fantastic thing.
Hughie, you're kind of the man, brother. Much love to you, and thanks for joining.
All right, talk to you next week. Thanks, man.
The great Mike Hugenan on your TLD Logistics phone line, 865-200-5402, if you want to get in the hunt and in the mix. And, Bino, the more I think about it, this Petiti guy is really kind of a clown. He only wants his league games to count, Bino, only your league record toward a playoff. And they are pushing for that play-in tournament deal at the end of the year. And I agree with you, Bino. The SEC and the SEC and the Big Ten will both do that when they go to 16 teams. And you know what? Some years in our market, that will help us, because there will be years where we'll be sitting there as a 6th-ranked team really getting a free roll at the end of the year, because that's what that is. When you're the 6th team in one of these leagues, the 4th and 5th teams might get in anyway. Might. But when you're sitting there at 6, that's a free roll to the playoffs for you, and it makes sense. It's a lot more attractive than the current championship game format, which in this day and age is antiquated.
Yeah, I think, Tony, in the years, if they do this, in the years where the 6 beats the 3, your loser's going to be the loser of the 4 and 5 game. That's who they're going to eliminate. You're not going to eliminate your 3 team. You're going to eliminate probably your 4 or 5.
Basically, these 2 leagues agree on nothing. Like Brian was talking about how they're going to, somebody said, I saw somebody made the comment, which is a lot easier said than done. But what these people need to do is they need to sit in a room and say, what's good for college football? And then the thought comes, they're never going to do that because they don't care about college football. All they care about is themselves. Both these leagues are PIG pigs. That's what they are. They're total pigs.
Yeah. And, Tony, I think Sankey's probably exactly right that an 8-game schedule in the SEC is more difficult than a 9-game schedule in most other leagues. I still think it's cowardly in a 16-team league to only play 9 conference games.
And Ewad reminds us that the game that's going to be played in Ireland to start the year this year is actually a non-conference game in the Big 12. Is that right, Brian? Because Ewad just texted us that.
Yeah, it is. I just looked that up, and that's right. That is a non-conference game. That's a huge rivalry. That's Farmageddon is it has a name, Farmageddon, and they're moving Farmageddon to Dublin. So do with that what you will.
Do they go out there and have a potato picking contest during Farmageddon?
I mean, I guess there's farms in Ireland, too.
Maybe a potato picking contest of some kind. Oh, there's all kinds of farmland there. Are you kidding? We've got a lot to talk about today, though. It's going to be unbelievable, Andy. Should Tennessee give Boo Carter a deadline over the weekend, or should they let it go to Monday? And then what do you think is going to happen with Carter? Living Vol fan. You've had a week to digest this. What's going to happen with Boo Carter? And when we come back on the other side, by the way, we'll get some calls in at 865-200-5402. Who are, when you start thinking about conference expansion, right? Who are the four you'd take? And do we want Clemson and North Carolina in this league in as much as and Brian texted me this, and Brian Hartman's right. Go, Brian, make your point, because just a really good point you're about to bring up here.
Tennessee has had some very good success recruiting players in the Carolinas, in South Carolina, North Carolina, basically due to the fact that they can tell those North Carolina kids, you're going to get to play SEC football. But if North Carolina is part of SEC football, doesn't that go away? Isn't that an advantage that they don't any longer have?
Bino, what do you say to that?
I think it's a great point.
Yeah. It's kind of like that
it's
old
thought-provoking.
law. It's like a law of physics, It's like to every action there's a reaction. And Brian's got a good point there, because when we're at our tippy top of our game, we're getting players out of the Carolinas, and really good players. Like David Sanders, for instance. If North Carolina and Clemson are both in that league, he doesn't have to leave his home state now to play Southeastern Conference football. So it's pretty interesting stuff when you sit down and you think about it. So we'll get some calls in at 865-200-5402, and we do that right after this.
Hey, Tony B listeners, I'm Billy from Grade A Grounds, a UT grad bringing Knoxville a better way to raise money. We roast premium coffee fully branded for your team or cause. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% to local needs. Let's win on and off the field. Visit gradeagrounds.com to start your winning fundraiser today.
Living Vol fan, we're on the countdown to kickoff, and that means you need to make sure you are game ready. Head to Alumni Hall to get this season's Tennessee sideline apparel. Nike, Columbia, Peter Millar, and more. Shop top brands for the entire family. Hats, Yeti, tailgating gear, and so much more. If it's for the Tennessee fan, Alumni Hall has it. Spend $150 and get $10 in Hall cash rewards. Shop at alumnihall.com. Download their app or shop any of their locations in Knoxville, Murfreesboro, or the Tri-Cities. Alumni Hall, the ultimate shopping destination for Vol fans.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net. TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
Attention Vol fans, are you tired of complicated, clunky fleet technology that makes your job harder? Say goodbye to frustration and hello to Connexial, your hometown partner in logistics. It's time to rev up your operations with next level fleet management from Connexial. Connexial is here to keep your business on track with technology that works as hard as you do. Our game-changing ELD gives you more than just hours of service. With AI-powered dash cameras and real-time asset tracking, you'll have eyes on the road, cargo, and your fleet from anywhere, anytime. And the best part, our friendly US-based customer support team is just one phone call away. No more long wait times or frustrating tech talk. Just real people with real solutions. With Connexial, you get a professional team you can trust and easy-to-use products that keep you on the road. What do you say, Tony?
I'm ready. Make the smart move and call Connexial today.
865-888-6920. Learn more at Connexial.com. That's Konexial.com. Drive life with Connexial and go Vols.
Basilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair. And they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms. And I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company.
Yeehaw! Some people say betting online is still the wild, wild west. But with the VIP Play app, you're riding with the best. VIP Play app is hotter than a $2 pistol packed with flair. Live hosts and features finer than a frog hair. Send your old betting problems out of town with a slap. You'll be betting sharp as a tack on the VIP Play app.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-88-99789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
I'll tell you what, that Will Heflin's very talented. That is a great ad, the VIP play ad. Wow. 865-200-5402. Bino, did you take a side on the Boo Carter thing? What would you take him back if he wants to come back? Where are you on that?
I absolutely would take him back if he wants to come back, Tony. Okay. And that's why I fall on the side of don't push this deadline up any sooner than it needs to be. You've already got a deadline. If he's not here Sunday or Monday, he's done. I don't see any reason to accelerate that process. And I would think that most of that is coming from fans who just want to know and want to get it over with one way or the other.
I kind of think you're letting him control it, though, if you don't say, hey, if you want to be back with us, jump through a hoop and meet me here on Saturday. I just think, that's
I can see
me.
that.
But, I'm of the belief, though, that I want playmakers on my football team. I got to figure out how to manage that if I'm the head coach. Brian Hartman, what say you on the Boo Carter thing? Then we go to the phones.
I think you have to take him back because you need playmakers. You've got one that you know about, but you don't know who else is there. So I think you almost have to take him back. He hasn't done anything that's illegal as far as gone beyond just a little bit of maybe some immaturity, maybe some other issues going on there. So I think you got to take him back. If you can manage him, you got to manage him, though.
Let's go to our busy phone lines at 865-200-5402. Before we do that, just a quick legal ID as we hit hour 2. Quick legal. Go ahead.
WJBE 1040 AM 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
And a hour to play here on a Friday with you. All lines are currently jammed. Anything you want to talk about? Petiti doesn't want non-conference games to count as for the playoffs. They felt the need at UCLA to drag Joey football. I don't understand that. I just don't get that for the life of me. Isn't it enough that you throw him out like yesterday's garbage? Let's go back to our phones.
Hey, Tony, I want to make one quick comment. One quick one. We'll go to the phones here. And it's concerning Orange Throat's piece, which was very good as usual today. He mentioned Former and how well Former handled these type of situations. And I agree with that. The one thing I would take issue with was in Former's time, a player just couldn't up and leave and not be penalized. If they left in a huff, they sat out a year. So Former did not have to deal with the current state of affairs today in college football, where they can just leave and go apparently enroll and then walk on, no penalty, no nothing.
It's almost like it's two different eras, the sports even. Because I don't even know if this model is a professional model. This is an unprofessional model they're currently in. People want to say, well, it's like pro football now. Actually, no, it's actually today you get rewarded if you act unprofessionally today.
Yeah, that's right.
You know? What UCLA did to that quarterback
leave during
is
the season.
Huh?
He didn't leave during the season. It's just summer workouts.
Hey, Bri, when you're not with your team, I mean, it's not good. Okay? It's just not good. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, it's Parker.
Hey, welcome in. Great to talk to you.
How you doing today, man?
Doing great. Doing great.
Guys, I don't really care about Boo Carter. I mean, in this era of college football, if any fans have allegiance to any of these players or think they have allegiance to us, I've got another thing coming for you. I don't understand it at all.
So you're not for keeping him?
I mean, if he wants to come back and follow the team guidelines, sure. But I just don't understand. I mean, I get it's a story to tell leading up to the season. I get it. I get why people are interested in it. But, I mean, just me not knowing these guys, if they get a better offer, they're going to jump in. But 99% of them aren't going to do that.
You see what's interesting, though, in this one? This one's not about money, though. Otherwise, he'd be holding out right now, and that's not what he's doing. I think
it'd be very dumb for him to
Go
do
ahead,
that.
I'm sorry.
To go somewhere else, because what options does he have? I mean, there's no transfer portal, so would he have to go play D1 FCS, or would he go to the JUCO? Like, what options does he have? Sit out a year? That'd be even worse.
No, we talked about this yesterday. There's actually a court case on the books that give these kids a little wiggle room here, and the way it would work is let's say Colorado and Deion, because they've been rumored with him, right? Let's say he enrolls there at Colorado as a regular student. He could then go out for football,
Like
and then they give him a scholarship in camp, and he plays his college football at Colorado. That's what the courts have found. Now, nobody's tried it yet, because you really have to be a real piece of work to do something like that, to switch sides at this time of the year. But the belief is from people that follow it, and Adam Sparks said this yesterday, the belief is he'd be able to do it.
I mean, it makes sense. What's the difference between somebody enrolling at UT and trying out as a walk-on and making the team? I know UT used to do walk-on tryouts, and why not NIL just pay the scholarship and not even offer them a scholarship?
And that's the point, yeah. And basically what the court said if a regular student can transfer in the summer, then a football player can transfer in the summer. But semantically, the football player can't transfer and say, I'm going to play football, but he is free just to transfer in, if that makes any sense to you. And I'll put it this way. Really, these guys, as soon as you make a law or a rule, they're looking for a way around it.
Yeah. I mean, the idea with Colorado is Deion just trying to hang over the Travis Hunter over his head? Like, hey, you can be the next Travis Hunter, play both sides.
I don't know.
Is that the rationale there?
Maybe because, Colorado, and Bino and Bri, you guys help me out. I believe that they when it looked like he might go in the portal last year, Colorado's name was coming up, so that might be what Deion sees in him. Yeah, that's and then after he stayed at Tennessee basically came out and said, we're going to play this guy both ways, which Bino, nobody plays both ways these days. I think more guys should, but nobody does that, Bino, which leads me to believe that perhaps our caller's right here.
No, I think Parker's onto something obviously there, because Colorado was a place that brought that back and allowed that to happen.
Yeah, it's a really interesting thing, Parker, to stop and just to consider. It really is. It's because if a regular student can transfer right now, which they can, and go to a school, and the school admits them. It's up to the school's admissions, if they would take you. I'll give you, for instance, in 1987, when I came to Tennessee, I applied to school like early in the summer, and then I didn't apply for residency, or not residency, but a hall, and didn't get my assignment until early September. And back then, when we were on the quarter system, school started like the second week of September. And so, like 1 week out, I was in limbo on that. So,
yeah.
And that's how we treat regular students, I mean, that's kind of how, I don't know how it's done these days, but look, if Deion Sanders goes to those people at Colorado and he says, we want to get this guy in, they'll find a way to get him in.
Yeah, I don't even think he would have to even live on campus. I mean, just get him an apartment, just be a
That's exactly
student,
right.
Literally.
Yeah,
like any other student. But
no.
Yeah, I mean, the only way that you're going to solve any of this, and the NCAA doesn't want this, or really any conference commissioner, and other than our athletic director who said it, is to put these guys on contracts and make them paid employees. I mean, that's I don't see how you avoid that. And one more thing before I go, guys. I don't. I've seen people say like we need our fans deserve stability. Our fans deserve this. I mean, I think we have a lot of stability, right? I mean, if anything, this is just showing you that there's expectations that Coach Heupel has on the team, that the players expect of all the teammates, and if you're not meeting that, you're off the team. And I think that's pretty evident having 2 10-win seasons the past 3 years. So I don't see the panic that's settling in among our fans. I get it so close to the first game of the year, but still, are we panicking? There's no need to panic. We got a good coach. We're winning 10 games a year. It's going to be okay. So that's my message to Vol Nation. I don't know if it's going to be well received, but yeah, who cares about this guy? If he comes, great. He's got buy-in. If he doesn't, it's next man up. So go have a good weekend.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, Josh Heupel's proven that he can win. He can win his way. He can win your way. He can win that way over there. This guy's a winner. It is weird that we've had 2 flashpoint deals kind of blow up on us, and it does make for a tedious offseason. The Nico thing and the Boo Carter deal, that's just but like Bino said, and that's a good catch by you, Bino, on Orange Throat's column today over at tclub.team, as he does a great job for us on Mondays and Fridays. But one of the things he said was, you look at this situation, and it wouldn't have happened under Philip Fulmer. And Bino's point is, well, how do you know that? I mean, back then, if a player went to transfer, your assistant coach would look at you and go, I'm going to ruin your life. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, player had zero leverage, Tony.
Yeah, that's how the game was played. We'll make sure you got to sit 2 years if you transfer. That's how it used to be played. I mean, and I just come up with a great name for college football right now. It's unprofessional sports. Oh, it's professional. It's about as unprofessional as possible. It's embarrassing that somebody could walk off a campus in July and walk on to another one and play football. And I believe that's what the courts have said. Now, nobody's tried it yet. But if that isn't unprofessional, how about quitting on your team? Be like in the NFL. You went through those spring voluntary workouts with your football team, which all those quarterbacks do. And then 3 weeks later, when that's over, you say, oh, by the way, I'm not with the Jets this year. I'm going to the Packers. Say what? Say, huh? I like that tag for this, Bino, unprofessional sports.
Yeah, it's perfect, Tony. I mean, and the day after Hulk Hogan's death, I mean, we got heel turns in college football. What? I mean, come on.
You're right. And then, and it was Stuart Mandel in The Athletic. He calls the Big Ten the Gaslight Conference, because that's all they did at that press conference this week. 2 coaches took shots at the SEC. The Signetti guy, who did a nice job last year, he is full of you know what. They buy out of the Virginia series. Virginia? And then he says, our excuse for buying out of the Virginia series is, well, we play in the Big Ten. Yeah, and? You can't play Virginia?
Tennessee bought out of a series to play Virginia. Tennessee bought out of one half a series where the team came to Knoxville to play Virginia in Nashville.
Thank you very little, Bri. You're exactly right. Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome into the
I told you last year that guy's a Richard.
The Petiti guy? You know what
Signetti.
Oh, so both of them. You know what those guys are, Bino? They're typical Northeastern Yankees. And Paisans. They're big-mouthed Italians, both of them. Let's go to our phones and get our next call in. Hello and welcome on a Friday.
Tony, Billy with Grade A Grounds.
That's my man right there. Billy with Grade A Grounds. Do you have a take, my good friend, on what we're discussing here?
Yeah, I do, and I've really been all over the place. I really like what Adam said yesterday about how easy this could be to really solve. We're still dealing with 18, 19-year-olds walk in there, say sorry. tell coach, sorry, I'm willing to do whatever I need to do, to make it right. And for the most part, it's going to be done. But I also, I was going to get your all's opinion on this. It does set a precedent, though, if he can get away with this, and we do need playmakers. We need guys back. And if we accept him back and don't hold him accountable, what kind of message does that send to the next guy, to Mike Matthews, who's another legit athlete? Well, maybe I don't have to go out and do all this extra stuff because they're just going to let me right back on the team. So I'm kind of torn. I really don't know.
That's really interesting. You know what, Bino? I haven't even considered that because I'm telling you that the head coach was calling around in the midst of this saga. Have you seen Boot? Do you know how we can get in touch with him? I mean, he didn't just disappear. Bino, this guy disappeared.
No, it's a really great point. He has to be held to the same level of accountability as everyone else. And you can't just march him back in there and everything's forgiven without there being some type of disciplinary action taken, whether it's something we see on game day or we never see.
Yeah,
the team has to see it.
That's a great point.
And I wanted to get your opinion on this, too. You all definitely will know more than myself, but we're talking about issues, in my opinion, that probably are happening on a lot of teams, especially good teams, where you have a lot of really good players wanting some money, and I'm not saying this issue is about money, but just different circumstances where, we're here talking about UT, but who's not to say that at Alabama, Georgia, their sports talk radio, we know how important it is in the South. I'm sure a lot of this is happening at other schools, and maybe we're just not hearing about it.
Well, Billy, did you see you remind me of something, and Brian Hartman jump in here, but there's a story that's circulating that's been told that a kid playing in a game last year, what were the two teams, Bri? He basically sent the playbook to a friend of his on the other team because he was upset.
Yeah, that was a Memphis player that sent, I believe, the playbook, the defensive formations to the Texas San Antonio quarterback.
And here's the
point.
And
Texas San Antonio won that game, I think 44-35 or something like that.
This kid is upset about playing time. Just kind of sitting there. To your point, Billy, it is a different age and a different era now. And I'm not saying that teams are doing that. The other thing we don't know that kind of scares me, how many of these kids are betting on the sport they play? You ever thought about that? Because I'm telling you, the people that have and control gambling in this state, I know think about that. See, here's the thing about sports gambling being legal now. I think it's good because they have systems in place to catch people when they bet on themselves. You see irregular betting patterns versus back in the old days when you go through bookies. But I don't want to get off on that. But what I'm saying is you brought up a great point, which is it's hard in our minds because we want to compare this to the football we grew up on. And these kids, Billy, I think it's a great sign that Kitzelman, who's transferred from Alabama, and also Josephs spearheaded the group that went to the coach and said, hey, this guy is not doing what he's supposed to. We know he's a great player, but this guy either has to get in line and get back here or he's got to go. And I think that's refreshing, Billy. Somewhere in there, I see a silver lining in that. But I don't want to lose Boo Carter either. I don't want to lose him.
No, and I don't either. I'll finish with like what Parker was talking about. My 2 cents for Vol fans is I keep thinking it's actually nice to have conversations like this about players because we're finally out of the wilderness. We have good enough players that we're now having conversations. I know there's a lot of flux with Joey football and looking at this upcoming season. The schedule still seems to be in our favor. Josh Heupel has showed he can really truly coach. And I remember calling last year about his ability to make in-game adjustments. And he's obviously shown that with the way he let the defense carry last year. And we should have a pretty good defense this year. But I love that we're having these conversations because we're out of the wilderness and we're not talking about going 5-7.
And see, that's a man right there. Now, Billy don't want me to do this, but we're going to do it anyway. From Grade A Grounds, I'm going to tell you right now, they are unbelievable. It's an unbelievable product. You're a guy that has a dream. This thing, you've helped so many organizations with your product. But not only that, it's available direct to consumer. Tell folks how they can find you at Grade A Grounds.
Oh, man, I appreciate this, Tony. Yeah, what we do, we're helping all kinds of programs, schools all over the state of Tennessee, but we're also all over the U.S. So if you have any need in or interest in a fundraiser for your sports team or your school, you can reach us at on our website at gradeagrounds.com. We're on social media at Grade A Grounds, and I mean we're all over the state. Up here in the Tri-Cities, Daniel Boone, Elizabethton. We're all over Knoxville, the Diamond Elite team in North Carolina, California, the Mid-State. So we're doing some good stuff, and we've got a great product, and I'm just very, very blessed and fortunate to be 2 years into what I've done. I was a teacher for 11 years, ended up quitting because the business took off and really trying to grow it. And I'm just so thankful to your listeners because they have been a huge support the last couple of months. So, yeah,
let's
very,
go,
very
man.
blessed.
I love it. So check out Grade A Grounds. And he's keeping me going today because I slept about 2 hours last night. Went to physical therapy for my back, but I enjoyed some Grade A Grounds today. And I mean to tell you, that put some lead in my pencil, so to speak. And, Billy, thank you. Great talking to Billy from Grade A Grounds. Josh Ward is breaking a story here today, and Josh Ward says the following on the Twitter machine, Beanstar. Sports agent Omar Cooper announced back on July 11th that he signed Tennessee defensive back Boo Carter as a client. So Josh Ward was able to uncover that. Here's the rest of the picture. And this is why with this guy, this agent is the same agent that's the agent for Ace Bailey. This agent conducted himself like a damn fool before the NBA draft. No offense to him. I don't mean that personally when I say when you say to four teams in the NBA draft, Bino, teams 4 through teams 2 through 5, we don't want to play for you because I want my client to fall at 6 or 7 because he'd get more playing time. He would make $10 million less dollars. Like, who does that? This guy does that. Josh Ward, the second piece. Isaac Connor, who had represented Carter, told CBS Sports that he was never informed of the change by Carter or his family. So I guess CBS Sports broke that story. Okay. Bino, does this concern us that he's under the auspices and the guidance now of Omar Cooper?
Yes, Tony. I don't think that makes our chances better that he's coming back.
Wow.
He's getting some bad advice somewhere, and that explains it.
I'm telling you, this thing is not about money, though. If it was about money, I'd tell you it's about money. The Nico deal back in December was a money power play. And they lied to Tennessee and said, we have this big offer from Miami. And Tennessee said, we'll give you a moderate raise commensurate with what you showed on the field, which is fair. Kid quarterback a team that went 10-2. Now, one could say they went 10-2 in spite of him, but whatever.
I like the fact they're saying he wanted to be close to his family, but yet he was talking to Miami.
That's right.
As if UCLA wasn't his only option. UCLA was about his only option.
Back to our phones, 865-200-5402 if you want to get in. Let's get our next call in the hunt and in the mix and in the mix and in the hunt. Hi, welcome in.
How are my friends compatriots doing today?
What's up, my man?
Tony, I'd give Boo Carter till Sunday at midnight. Send a message, get it to him somehow. Josh Heupel will be in his office. His phone will be clear, and he'll be sitting there till midnight. That's a deadline.
Yeah, I almost think letting this kid control the cards, which they've done here, they've put themselves in a spot where he has all the leverage. But Bino does have a good point. They do have all the leverage. So, CBS Sports is reporting the following. Boo Carter in limbo at Tennessee, altercation with teammates, agent change, and more on the forefront of the Vols drama. Yet, he had a couple teammates rough him up pretty good, W. Lynn.
Kind of a code red like that movie with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, they roughed him up. You know, which, by the way, to the uninitiated, that goes on football teams.
It does, yeah.
It always has. It's just a part of the sport.
Many of the Sugar Bowls told me that if somebody got out of line, they kind of took care of it. And that was just part of it. So, but in this day and age, who knows? It's just all changing. But I tell you, this Big Ten commissioner and some of the coaches, they need professional help. I don't know what they're thinking. But my plan would work if all four conferences did it. And I use as evidence the NCAA basketball tournament. When we're looking at who gets at-large bids, we look at those 12 or 13 non-conference games. So my plan is you play 8 conference games and 2 Power 4, and then 2 Group of 5 and 0 1 AA. Your games against the 2 other, like for Tennessee, it'd be 8 SEC, 2 Power 4. And can I give you some examples, Bino? And I want you to let me know as a season ticket holder if this would make you happy. Say 26, 27 years. We play Pitt, BYU. 1 year, one's home, one's away. Then from 2028 to 29, we play Penn State, North Carolina. Same deal, home and away. 2030, 2031, we play West Virginia, Nebraska. One home, one away. Reverse it the next year. Would that make you happy as a season ticket holder?
Oh, absolutely. Those are solid football games. That's not 3 to 4 games that I wouldn't leave my living room to watch, like we see on most SEC schedules today.
Yeah, and that would give us a feel for how you did against other conferences, and that's what should determine at-large bids. That Big Ten guy said, if you're 6-3 in the Big Ten, you're probably lucky to go 4-4 in the SEC.
Oh, no question. No question.
And that Belima guy, is that how you say his name for Illinois?
Yeah.
He's been shooting his mouth off a little bit too.
Well, he got a taste of the SEC, and it didn't work out too well for him. So,
I mean, all he plays this year is Ohio State. Yep. As far as one of the power teams, I mean, I don't count USC as a power team right now. They hadn't showed me anything. So,
hey, Bino, I love when Wisconsin, when they had that thing split in divisions. It was Wisconsin and literally the Little Sisters of the Poor.
It was. And
unreal.
So we hold all the cards in this, in my book, the SEC. So, they can whine and cry all they want. I mean, Illinois is playing Western Illinois, Western Michigan, and Duke. I mean, it's not like they're, going out there and all playing Power 4 teams, Hughie went over Penn State's non-conference schedule. So it's just I think, I don't know if it's ever going to happen. Like you said, we're like 2 6-year-old kids fighting on the playground, us and the Big Ten, and we got the upper hand in my book. But Bino, as far as expansion goes, I'm with you. If we could go to the old SEC with 10 teams, if you want to get the two most populous states, one's ranked 9th and one's 11th, you get Virginia Tech, Virginia, North Carolina State. You throw South Carolina with them, Arkansas with them, and all these other Southwest Big 8 teams, and they'd be their own division. How's that sound?
Unbelievable, Andy. I'm for that, not against it. And let's make it happen. And W. Lynn, thank you for the call.
Right.
Yeah, wherever this thing ends and how it rolls is going to be really, really interesting. And how they get there. But one thing we know for darn sure is that this thing they've done to college football, and really to all these sports, is really a mess. But let's go back to our phones. At 865-200-5402, welcome in. You're on the show.
Hey, Tony.
Hey.
Well, you still having troubles?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would have been surprised if you wouldn't have been, but hey, it is what it is. The Boo Carter deal. It's almost like kids these days. And I know you and Bino and Brian have heard this expression probably 1 million times. It's the trophy. Got to get the trophy era. I got to get my trophy if I even participate. If I stub my toe, you've got to do something to take care of me so I don't get hurt, or pamper me, or whatever the case may be. And the NIL stuff has just made it that much worse.
I mean, Tennessee gave Boo Carter a big fat raise. This thing's not about money, okay? It's not.
No, I realize that.
But they also told him. But they also told him, you'll play both ways. Now, there aren't many guys that we've seen here in the past that play both ways. We could list them on one hand. So
you're right. Carl Pickens was one of them, and did an excellent job doing it.
Who else, Brian, comes to mind? Play both ways, Brian. Anybody else?
I think
Gordy Lockbaum.
Maybe somebody in like a Hail Mary situation. A receiver went on defense.
Okay, so Brian's point is, the point is well taken. They've been over backwards.
Carl Pickens.
Travis Hunter was one.
Who is?
The guy at Colorado, Travis Hunter, played both ways.
Yeah, I'm talking about here, though. I'm talking about here.
Talking about at UT.
And the thing is, once in a generation, you throw a kid out there and let him play both ways. And
well,
so,
now, let me ask you.
This kid just disappeared. This kid just disappeared.
Didn't he ask to play both ways? And he even return punts and kickoffs?
Sure, he did.
He got everything he asked for.
That's what doesn't make any sense.
And
it's not about
understand.
money. Yeah, and it's just a very weird story that really belongs in this off season, because this has been a really strange, tedious off season. I mean, Danny White likes to pretend that they've got a 24,000 season ticket holder waiting list line. Okay, because around here in June we couldn't get anybody to talk about college football. So, I mean, not saying I don't believe.
I guess you'll find out the first game.
Oh, sure. Well, once a ball kicks off, it's different. Everybody's
but I mean, you know what I mean. I mean, if everybody shows up and the place is full, you'll get some kind of idea. But if
I guess they're all trying to get tickets to that Syracuse game in Atlanta. No wait.
Yeah, boy, that's a real.
Oh, I'm talking about the first home game, and you'll find out somewhat in Atlanta too, because it's 3 hours. So,
yeah, Bino, you going? You going down to the Syracuse game, Beanstar?
I am not, Tony. I'm going to, although I would love to see a game in the Mercedes I've never seen a game there, but no, I'm not making the trip.
Anthony went down there and saw the what's that thing called, Brian? The Leagues World Cup, the soccer game. He went down there and saw that.
The Club World Cup or something.
Yeah, he saw that.
Quarterfinal was played there.
He saw that PSG team against Messi. He said it was really beautiful in that stadium.
Hey, Bino. Do you
Yes, sir.
Do you think your Yankees and my Dodgers make the playoffs? The way they're playing right now?
The Yankees may make the playoffs, Joe, but they're just so unsound in so many areas. They won't be there long.
Well, I don't think my Dodgers are going to be there either. The way they're playing, and
hard.
They've got so many injuries that it's ridiculous. So, I'm going to be interested to see who makes the Fall Classic this year.
Totally agree.
I don't think it'll be either one of them.
It's complete.
Well, I tell you who's got a good baseball team. The Blue Jays have a good baseball team, and they play baseball.
They do.
They put the ball in play.
Yep.
They field it. They pitch it. They run the bases. They've got a good baseball team.
And the Tigers also are pretty doggone good too.
But they've really been in a slump here.
Yeah, they have here recently, but hopefully they'll snap out of it. Don't sleep on Seattle.
Sleepless in Seattle. Thank you, my friend. Good talking to you. My friends at VIP Play, if you want to get some action this weekend on some Major League Baseball, they've got you covered at VIP Play. Listen, the bottom line is you sign up, you get your welcome bonus when you use your promo code TNTony. You're going to get $100 in bonus bets off your $5 bet. And remember, with Major League Baseball this weekend, all kinds of great opportunities there. A couple of events in golf. In fact, there are 200-plus leagues that you can bet on over at VIP Play. Numerous bet types and props and options. And if you have a bet in mind, your VIP Play team will create it as long as it's a compliant bet and type of bet in the state of Tennessee. Everybody gets treated like a VIP over at VIP Play. And if you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789. 21 and over in the state of Tennessee to place a bet. And we go back to our phones at 865-200-5402. And hello and welcome into our next call on this Friday.
My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in days under love, you see. I came back to let you know I got a thing for you, and I can't let go.
I can't believe the dude that sung that's white, Bino. Whiter than me.
Yeah.
Oh, Bobby Caldwell. Great jam.
The three coolest white boys to ever walk the earth, Tony. Bobby Caldwell, Michael McDonald,
yes,
and a young Bino Jeff Henderson with his afro and R&B collection.
Oh my gosh, great story that his roommates told Bino. He said, "Oh man, I got my roommate's not my color because he didn't meet Bino. He saw his album collection on the ground. And that's how we used to tell what we were getting into back then when you looked at your roommate's album collection before you got to know him. It's a really good point. But they would have found that Bino had discerning taste when it comes to his R&B palette.
I wish you'd post a picture of you and Bino back when you were young.
I am young, brah. I am young, brah.
I know you are, but yeah, that would be fun to see.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so you're playing Pain Day, Tony?
My what?
Playing in Pain.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sitting on the floor here trying to get in a comfortable position. It's very difficult.
Is it like North Dallas 40? Nick Nolte and Mac Davis.
I wish somebody would walk through the door and give me a pharmacological cocktail that they might have used back then to get the pain off me. I'll tell you that.
Maybe John Adams will bring a little something over.
Who will?
John Adams.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
He said he had a lot of empathy yesterday.
Do you love him or what, man?
Oh, yeah, I love John Adams.
Mm-hmm. It's so fun to get to do that with him. It's fun.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I hope you get better soon.
Oh,
Okay.
we're going to get there. You got to take your time and kind of listen to your body, you know?
But hey, Hogan passed away. I remember, and Bino might remember this, when I was a kid growing up, you only had 3 or 4 channels.
Yep.
And I could get where I lived, I could get Chattanooga and Knoxville.
Yep.
And on Saturdays, I guess it came on at about 12, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You could watch Knoxville wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the evening at about 5, you could watch Chattanooga wrestling with Harry Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
Bino, do you remember Harry Thornton?
I absolutely remember Harry Thornton. I used to watch those back to back.
Yeah, that's what I did. I remember Tojo Yamamoto would call him Mr. Harry Thornton. But anyway, Knoxville wrestling. I remember Hulk Hogan coming through Knoxville before he was Hulk Hogan.
His name was, what was his name? This is a bonus points for you.
Sterling Golden.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
He wasn't all jacked up then.
No, he had an enhancer or two, as Titans Bill once said.
Yeah, and I was reading his bio, and he had the title for a while, then he lost it to Bullet Bob Armstrong.
Oh, I didn't know he held the title here.
Well, some title, but
That's
he
cool.
lost it to Bob Armstrong, so I'm assuming it was maybe in that territory.
That's cool.
But anyway, I remember, I'll never forget, Bob Armstrong did a video, and he said, "Hey, these ain't no toothpicks, baby. You have some big arms, you know."
The Bullet, man. I love the Bullet. One of my favorite wrestling memories is seeing Jim Cornette in the old Smoky Mountain. They had Bullet Bob Armstrong Appreciation Night, okay? So they bring him out to the middle of the ring. The place is jam-packed, the old Coliseum. And they get down there, and he's going to present him with a ring for his lifetime accomplishments. And he opens the ring box, and it was a fireball, that old fireball trick when you open it up. And he breathed fire in his face, and the Bullet acted like he was blinded. And there was a kid in front of me from Maynardville. I'll never forget this. And he turned around and he goes, "I cannot believe he just set off a fireball on the Bullet." How about that, Bino? He put a fireball on the Bullet.
Oh, the fans' reactions sometimes the very best of the whole show.
The best.
Tony, who was the wrestler that used to pull the fireball out of his trunk?
I don't know. I don't remember somebody doing it as a practice. I remember seeing it that night.
Yeah, somebody.
I told Cornette later, I said, "That looked real, man." He goes, "What the hell you think it is? It's fire." Thank you, Freddie Jack. You're my man. Thank you. Freddie Jack does not.
And hope you get feeling better.
Love you, brother. Freddie does not stick to the topic ever. And if you want to get in with us, 865-200-5402. As we go back to our phones and get our next call in. Hello and welcome.
Hey, what's going on, Tone? Who's your ball?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Good. Let me first start off by apologizing for Signetti. Now, it was cute last year, but he needs to tone it down a bit.
Why do you say
that's
that?
a little dumb.
Oh, that was kind of embarrassing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was embarrassing and off-putting. Even if we do have a nice season this year, it's like, come on, guys. We didn't exactly play the COVID Alabama Murderers Row schedule where, it was all conference SEC teams plus the Notre Dame and the Buckeyes. People think it's illegitimate. Let's not really lean into it. But, wrestling, with Hugenan. Maybe he's just leaning into the bit, man, which is kind of funny, but I thought it was off.
I think there was a lot of that going on. And I think there's a lot of the SEC is the heel, and we're going to put the good face on. But you know what? When you do that, I think it backfires on you, Freddie. I really do. I think it backfires on you.
Yeah. Well, on to important matters.
Yep.
2 plays last year that it appears were major red flags. And when you got young players, they're kind of like young, talented players. They're kind of like new pretty girlfriends that keep shooting up red flags. You ignore them. When Nico ran out of bounds against Arkansas, and when Boo made a great play and almost got a personal foul against Bama, but the guy slapped him in the face and got caught, those appear to be red flags now. Is it fair to say?
Bino, what do you think? Because the guys like Boo Carter, those playmaker dudes, are always going to be mercurial. They're always going to be different. They're always going to have a little diva in them. They're extremely important to these teams. And it's got to be a very hard balance as a head coach and even a position coach how to keep the wheels on those guys.
I don't envy coaches trying to manage those rosters and manage young men, immature men, making a lot of money with unlimited freedom of movement. I don't know how anyone is going to manage that other than just having enough players on your roster where you can lose 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Enough quality players.
I'm late turning in, Tone. I'm sorry. Is it inevitable? Is Boo pretty much sayonara?
No, I don't think so. I talked to a source today who seems to think that Boo is asked to come back. Now, I haven't said that yet this hour because I haven't been able to confirm that. So I did talk to one person who's saying that he's – but there's a schism on the football team as to whether or not to bring him back, and inevitably it's going to be Josh Heupel's decision if, in fact, what I hear today is accurate. And I wasn't able to confirm it, but I guess what I'm trying to say is Adam Sparks said yesterday, and he covers a team for a living and does a nice job at that. He gave it a 30% chance, according to the people he talked to internally.
I remember hearing that, yeah.
And who knows, right? Who knows? Well, never a dull moment around here, man.
I will say this: I don't think if he doesn't come back, I don't think it's like, oh my God, we're going to lose 2 more games. I think our record probably is 8-4, 9-3, regardless. But everyone knows you're going to have to recruit over him. There ain't no way in heck we're going to keep him 1 more year with all this stuff. He's surely going to transfer at the end of the season, right?
I mean, maybe he comes and has an incredible year. Who knows? I mean, that's possible, right?
He is a very talented young man. When you watch him play, though, he makes some mistakes and he has probably some coverage issues. He is explosive and he hits and he can, make a play. And I know people can hate all they want. We ain't exactly got Ed Reed back there in our secondary or Eric Berry. So obviously we want him back, but if he left at this point, I wouldn't cry, to use a bad pun.
You're the man. You're the man, my brother. Thank you, and always good talking to you. And your boy Signetti's a clown, and he gives bad names to Italians.
There.
He gives bad names
to he's getting there.
Yeah, him and that Petiti guy. Thank you, Ryan. That Petiti guy is he needs a rouge and a big red nose. You talk about a punk and a clown. As we come back on the other side, 865-200-5402. We continue with more after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Your Smokies are back home this week, and so many great promotions every single night. Like all-you-can-eat Wednesday and Thirsty Thursday with half-off draft beers. Huge special guest on Friday. You guessed it, Santa and Mrs. Claus. It's Christmas in July. And on Saturday, it's wrestling night with live matches after the game. Fireworks both nights. Sunday, make sure to get the little ones out early with Peppa Pig. I'm Peppa Pig. Grab your tickets now at SmokiesBaseball.com.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Since 2001, Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling has been the trusted and preferred name for over 70,000 Knoxville locals. Looking for expert plumbing services and HVAC services, including repairs, replacements, or maintenance. Voted best plumber in Knoxville and one of Knoxville's best HVAC companies 7 years in a row. Pipe Wrench is a fully licensed mechanical contractor and committed to excellence and craftsmanship, so you can trust our certified experts to go above and beyond to meet your plumbing and HVAC needs, no matter what problem arises. We also make it easy with transparent pricing, free on-site estimates for replacements, and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing when credit approved. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards, so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire. Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony B here with the great Zakai Ziegler for
Hey,
Advent.
whoa.
Tony, I got this. Hey, Tennessee, it's Easy here. Next time you have an electric issue at your home or business, call my friends at Advent Electric. With offices in Knoxville and Nashville, it's Mama's Easy approved.
You heard it from the most electrifying player in the league. Call the service professionals at Advent Electric, 865-588-0631. Online, adventelectric.com. Tell them ZZ sent you. TB, back with you. Listen, Titans-Bills phone call from earlier in the hour is really our copper card call of the hour. It's the call by which all others will be judged. Hey, Bino, he didn't last very long, did he? Titans-Bill? Wasn't exactly a long phone call from Billy. Let's go back to the phones and get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah, hey, welcome in.
Hey, this is Tim. I'm the guy who used to write for the wrestling magazines.
Tim, my man. How you doing, brother?
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm doing great.
Tell the living listener back in the day when wrestling was a territory game and you didn't have these national product you had. Tell the living listener what you used to do, Tim, because I've seen your blurbs like in various wrestling magazines in my collection.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, the atmosphere, you go into like Knoxville Coliseum, but back then in the late 70s, filled with smoke.
Yep.
Crowd, the Coliseum was always packed.
Yep.
Not people just from Knoxville, but surrounding counties, even as far as Harlan, Kentucky, would come down and watch the matches, and it was just a great time. I mean, these guys were, heroes for poor Southern people growing
and you
up.
were like a stringer for which magazine? Were you doing the Apper Mags?
Inside Wrestling and The Wrestler and excuse me, Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I never did get paid for it, but
right,
I was
you did it right.
I was in middle school, high school. It was more of a hobby, but it was great. But your previous caller mentioned about Sterling Golden, Bob Armstrong winning the championship from Sterling Golden.
Yep.
But this is Ted Bet. Sterling Golden won the championship from Dick Slater.
Wow. Bino, do you remember Dirty Dick Slater?
Yeah, and when he was in Knoxville, he was babyface.
I love it, man.
And I went to a match, Coliseum once. It was one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. It was between him and Paul Orndorff for the title. And it was a clean match all the way through. It was like a 45-minute match, and Slater won. But it was one of the greatest matches. But anyway, I just wanted to call in and address the Hulk Hogan situation. He was not one of my favorite wrestlers, but always respected him. So yeah,
he's like the Babe Ruth of the deal, but he wasn't my choice either. Because every match looked the same, Every match looked the same.
Yeah, the leg drop,
leg drop.
I mean,
and then the number one finger would come up, and I used to cheer against him when I was a kid. That really surprised Bino. Bino, does that surprise you that I would go into the place and cheer for the heels when I went to the Spectrum?
No, Tony. I would expect nothing less.
Okay. Hey, thank you for the call. It's great hearing from you, my man.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You got about 2 minutes. Hit it. Hello and welcome in. All right, let's go around the room. That'll be our last call of the show. Bino, and I want the reasons why. Bino, will Boo Carter, when Monday rolls around, we'll be talking about him on the football team or not on the football team, and why?
Wow. Tony, I went from when this thing first broke early last week to believing that this was kind of a never mind, was a story, but would not result in Boo Carter being somewhere else next year, to 2 days later thinking, I don't think he's going to be here. And had you not said that you have a source that believes that he's asked to be back on the team, I would have said I don't think there's any way that he plays this year.
I might add, too, while I'm saying, the same person told me that there's a lot of resistance from coaches and players for him coming back. Not just players. There are coaches on that staff that don't think that they need to set this precedent with this kid. It's going to be extremely interesting. I haven't been able to confirm, but I'm just telling you what one source told me, which is that Book Harder has asked to be back on the team and that it has not been decided. But that there are players on the team and there are coaches on that coaching staff that are telling the head coach, we don't want that. And that's why Josh Heupel makes the big money. Bino, most of these head coaches are going to side with talent because Josh Heupel at the end of the year, if he loses a game or two because he doesn't have enough playmakers, the fans are not going to go, oh, yeah, you were moral. They're going to go, let's find another coach because that's how this works. It's just how it works. But, guys, thank you. Bino, thank you. Hey, Bino, good luck to your Yankees this weekend. They're going to need it.
Yeah, they'll need it from here on out, Tony. Tony, hope you have I'm wishing for you a weekend of rest and recovery and healing. And we'll talk to you on Monday.
Love and God bless. Thank you, Laura. Great job. Thank you, Bri. Peace.
WJBE 1040 AM 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville. WJBE 1040 AM 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
Tona B coming to you live today from Parts Unknown as we welcome you to another edition. It is your Tony Basilio show on a Thursday. John Adams is here, presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com.